The craziest MLB trade deadline just went down, so I'm going to talk about the winners of the trade deadline today. What's up, guys? It's Tom here. Welcome back to the channel. I believe around 10 All-Stars were traded to a new team, and there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to give you the winners of this trade deadline. I'm going to be breaking down the deals of the trade deadline winners and then giving my reaction, and I also want to hear your guys' reaction down below. Let me know if there's someone that won the trade deadline that isn't in this video, and just let me know your reaction to this whole trade deadline down below as well. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well for more MLB content to come. You don't want to miss it, so hit the notification bell as well. Obviously, the first winner I want to talk about of this trade deadline is the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think they finessed the Nationals in getting Max Scherzer and Trea Turner. I mean, they did give up their number 1 and 2 prospects, Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray, along with Gerardo Carrillo and Donovan Casey. However, I mean, they got Trea Turner. That's insane. Not only is he a MVP type player at his peak when he's healthy and going strong, they also got Max Scherzer as well. Now, Max Scherzer is on a rental contract. However, Trea Turner, they have control through next season as well. So from a Nats perspective, I don't understand why they traded Trea Turner right now. Even though they got number 1 and 2 prospects back from the Dodgers, it just still doesn't make much sense to me how you can give up a guy like Trea Turner so easily. Not only did they get Max Scherzer and Trea Turner, they also got Danny Duffy from the Royals as well. They got him for a player to be named later, so we'll find out who that player is later. But overall, getting Trea Turner is a massive success. I think even bigger than the Max Scherzer deal, because it future-proofs the Dodgers a little bit, because if Corey Seager is out the door and walks in free agency, they got a all-star shortstop to take his spot. Next up, I have the Milwaukee Brewers. I think they are winners at this deadline, getting Eduardo Escobar and a few other bullpen pieces, John Curtis and Daniel Norris. Now, I think they are winners because they address some of their issues, their flaws, even though they are division leaders right now of the NL Central. This adds some depth to the team in that bullpen and also adds a switch hitting power bat that can play third base or second base, say Colton Wong gets hurt, but now that infield is looking pretty solid and the bats in the lineup are starting to come together. With their pitching staff already being so dominant, it is huge for them to add John Curtis, who is great at not giving up walks, so he's not going to give up freebies, a 5.6 walk rate. That is excellent. And also you have Daniel Norris, who is more of a lefty specialist in my opinion. He is doing pretty good against lefties, having a 2.55 ERA in about 17 innings pitched. Moving on, we have the New York Yankees being winners at the deadline as well. At the deadline, they got Joey Gallo, Joely Rodriguez, Anthony Rizzo, and Andrew Heaney. Obviously, the Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo moves are huge moves that they made. For Joey Gallo, they gave up a couple of mid-range prospects in their farm system, and also for Anthony Rizzo, they gave up Kevin Alcantara and Alexander Vizcaino, who I think are going to be pretty solid prospects and guys in the show eventually if they can develop to their full potential, and we'll see them with the Cubs in the future. But to get a guy like Anthony Rizzo might have been a little bit high price to pay for a rental bat, but you know what? At the end of the day, the Yankees are going to go out and get the guys that they want, and they did exactly that at this deadline. Gallo gets on base, hits home runs. I mean, 3 true outcome guy. He's going to walk, strike out, or hit a home run. He's adding elite defense to the team as well, so that's awesome. And Rizzo, kind of a similar guy, but doesn't strike out as much. Will hit a few home runs every now and then, you know, but his MO is putting the ball in play and is a lefty bat as well, so that is huge for the Yankees in their righty dominant lineup, and also is a Gold Glove first baseman as well. Andrew Heaney adds some depth to that rotation. His numbers haven't been the greatest with the Angels, but maybe he comes to the Yankees and figures it out. However, he gives up a lot of home runs and a lot of balls leave the yard at Yankee Stadium, so we'll have to see about that. However, I think the success for the Yankees at the deadline comes in not giving up their top tier prospects to get these guys. They unloaded the middle part of their farm system system, so they're definitely losing some depth when it comes to their farm system, but they got their guys, and that's all that matters. Next up, I have the San Francisco Giants being winners because they got a guy in Chris Bryant. They didn't make many moves at the deadline, but they did make one big splash with Chris Bryant. They gave up prospects Alexander Canario and Caleb Killian. Those are some prospects that could develop into something for the Cubs. However, for the Giants, they didn't give up a guy like Joey Bart or some of their other top prospects, so I find this as a success, even though it is a rental bat in Chris Bryant, and I'll explain why. This definitely keeps the Giants in the arms race that is going on in the NL West between the Dodgers, Padres, and the Giants, I guess, as well, because they're at the top of their division right now. They can cling on to this. This would be awesome for baseball to see the Giants, underdog, I guess, coming into the season in that NL West and coming out on top. Just because of the Chris Bryant move, I see the Giants as winners in my eyes. Moving on, we're going to the Atlanta Braves. I think they made some good moves. They got Richard Rodriguez, Jorge Soler, Eddie Rosario, and Adam Duvall. They added a guy to the pen that has been pretty good for the Pirates all year, and now he's going to the Braves and should do work for them where the Braves need some bullpen help. Adding a bunch of outfielders, a lot of power bats that they added for pretty much nothing in my opinion. It's some moves that will keep them in the race for the NL East. All the teams have been underperforming this whole season, so the Braves see an opportunity to go up there and get the division even without Acuna, who's out for the season. And it's moves that don't lock them into long-term deals. All the bats that they just got are rentals, so if they aren't able to win this NL East division or get into the playoffs, they'll be all right for next year when they get Acuna back healthy and are going to make another run at the playoffs. But they do get Richard Rodriguez with some team control, I believe, so that is huge for them. And my honest opinion, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs unless they win that NL East, because I believe the two wild card teams will be coming out of the NL West. Got two more teams that are winners at this deadline, and we have the Chicago White Sox. It seems like they are going all in at this point to win a World Series when they go after Craig Kimbrell and Ryan Tepera to shore up that bullpen, and also adding a second baseman that they can use in Cesar Hernandez after Nick Madrigal is out for the season. Speaking of Madrigal, he went back to the Cubs in the Kimbrel deal along with Cody Hoyer. Interesting move by the Cubs to get Madrigal back. Does that mean Nico Hoerner's moving over the shortstop? We'll see about that. Sticking to the White Sox, some solid moves. I mean, trading away Madrigal, that is a huge piece, especially just for a reliever in Craig Kimbrell, so they must value him super highly because Madrigal just last year was a top 3 prospect in the White Sox farm system. The bullpen is going to be nasty and the team is going to be healthy down the stretch. I believe they have Luis Robert coming back pretty soon, and also Grandal eventually. When that team comes back healthy and their pitching staff is firing on all cylinders and their offense is going to be doing the exact same, I think they're going to be borderline unstoppable. I just talked about all these teams that were winners, and they were mostly teams, well, not mostly, all the teams were buyers at the deadline, but I wanted to feature one seller that was a winner at this deadline, and I think that is the Miami Marlins. Besides the Cubs and Nats having complete fire sales and just getting a boatload of prospects back, I wanted to feature the Marlins because I thought they made some smart moves. Obviously, the talk of the town for the Marlins is Jesus Luzardo coming back in the Starling Marte deal. I think that is a huge success for the Marlins. If they are able to turn Luzardo around from underperforming to where he's supposed to be at, he was a top prospect last year for the A's and was one of the most hyped pitchers coming into 2021 to have a breakout year. So I think if they can turn him around, that Marlins staff is going to be disgusting. Not to mention, they get some other guys, Peyton Henry, Alex Jackson, both catching prospects, and they get Brian De La Cruz and Austin Pruitt for Yimi Garcia. Basically, they got some pieces back that might develop into something in the future, but all the guys that they traded away were on expiring contracts. So that is understandable and justifiable. Justifiable. Is that a word? I don't know if it is, but we're rocking with it. So those were my winners of the trade deadline. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of these teams' moves, and also let me know if I left anyone out. I didn't want to include every buyer at the deadline as a winner, but you can let me know down below if some teams like the Blue Jays you think are winners at the deadline, and other teams as well. Once again, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more MLB and baseball content in the future. Here's some videos to check out, some that you don't want to miss. With that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.